shows, nobody really wants to be around hundreds or thousands of people at a time. So get comfortable, get yourself a new seat, because Stephen is the first one to start the virtual trade shows and now trending towards digital learning and impacting on how you learn and how you can retain information more efficiently and effectively online and feel part of a, let's say, classroom or part of a room. So as we now introduce Stephen to you, and we met through the GVAS, which is the first virtual trade show, and Stephen Handisides, the founder of My Face, My Body, and anybody in the aesthetic industry is probably aware of it. The next one is actually in November, which we'll tell you about, and he's the founder and global brand behind it, which has a leading educational platform for training medical aesthetics sector. But as I understood from talking with Stephen this last few weeks, he's going to be covering every industry, including the pharmaceutical industry, the coffee industry. So it's not only for our industry, but it is being launched, and we're really proud to be part of it. So it's the first global summit for GVAS, and from that, he's launched off now into virtual software. And that should be really exciting to host virtual events with outside, obviously, sectors. And he's been awarded and ranked in the top 30 CEOs of the world in the healthcare industry. And so today we will be showing you some really, really great information, sharing some pearls, and you'll be the first to hear about what's about to be launched, and you can be part of it, even through the beautiful Forever University. We're going to be working hand in hand. And so now we will introduce Stephen, and we will share some pearls. Hiya, Stephen. How are you today? I can't hear you at the moment. I guess it's East Coast to West Coast, but your volume is not on.
How's that?
Perfect. Now we hear you.
All right. Oh, thank you for having me. Yep, I'm in Las Vegas at the moment, as you can see from the lovely sort of warm weather and palm trees, and so I'm very honoured to be part of your talk today, and excited to share some really interesting thoughts and trends that are really happening at the moment within aesthetics, but also, you know, on a global perspective.
So we're going to change a slide now. We're going to talk about the pearls and the information that you want to share on going virtual. And I think that everybody knows about virtual and it's exciting, but now there's a whole new level of digital. And I think that everybody wants to be part of this new sector as you've been overwhelmed with people coming to you and for information. So I think we're going to talk about now the trends towards digital and how you're integrating Zoom into the digital world.
Yeah, I mean, what's been really interesting is, you know, when we were looking at putting together a virtual platform, originally it was around conferences and events, and we had this idea about 10 years ago, and we started seeing people really getting more familiar with webinar technology the last sort of few years. And Zoom really wasn't really a talked about type of platform, and there's been lots of other ones like GoToMeeting and a number of other sort of platforms that are out there. So yeah, based on the experience and what we did last year with the Global Virtual Aesthetics Summit, GVAS, we got a really phenomenal, we got some great feedback from attendees from 32 different countries. We had 1,450 people attend something virtually. And the idea with running anything virtually, obviously it saves a lot of people, not just money from flying into these physical events, but really the time, and we've all heard everyone's time is very precious, but really enabling businesses to become more efficient. So where it's really sort of headed to now, and what my team of developers have really sort of been focused on, is how do we emulate a lot of physical types of experiences into the virtual world. And what you see here on the screen is something that is called the virtual clinic, or a virtual med spa. We saw during the last few months during COVID that a lot of practices were quite proactive in looking at how they could use virtual webinar software and generate revenue from that. Now, whether that was just using it for educational purposes with their existing database to keep people aware of what's going on in the practice. Some were really using it to demonstrate new products and treatments, and we're able to sort of commercialize that, pre-book treatments, and sell skincare through online, and doing, consultations online prior to sort of more heavier types of more involved treatments like plastic surgery, liposuction, tummy tucks, etc. So what we've created for med spas and clinics, which is extremely exciting, is something which really brings everything together. We're constantly getting people saying, hey, we want to do something that just doesn't feel like a Zoom webinar for our patients, for our clients. So what we did was we created something which is what you see, as I say, on the screen, which this is really the starting point. So any type of med spa can have their own portal. They can customize it with their own logos, their promotional videos, and have something like this type of waiting room where clients can come in, they can view treatment menus of yours, you can upload all of the company brochures, like if you've got Allergan, Galderma, Cynosure, all these different products, you can upload it into the system and allow your clients to download it, because I know a lot of us have had to take away a lot of those marketing materials from our physical waiting rooms because of hygiene. So, and then you can view products, so you can actually upload all of the skincare and different types of products that can allow your customers to actually go in there, click on it, and order products online. But if the video is not, is the video working? You'll actually see
video now, and this way they can get an idea for the animation and what you're
Perfect.
talking about, and talk them through this digital new era.
So what you'll see in a second, once you click on the corridor here, you'll be able to go into different treatment rooms and consultation rooms. So if you are doing virtual consults, it says start consultation here. So you'd be able to click on that, and it would enable you to be able to do your online consults. We link with Zoom and other types of webinar platforms. So that would open up a window where you could do that. You can show case studies, and then allow people to book after the consultation, they can book a treatment through this platform. Again, when it comes to the treatment rooms here, you can actually create pre-recorded or live webinars using, as I say, Zooms and things like this. These types of visuals are like the interface, and then it just enables people to engage and click on these different buttons, ask Q&A, so it opens up a chat room to enable discussions with you as the practitioner, and then also watch demo, and you can schedule in with all of your database, your patients, and say, hey, we're doing this open evening virtually. We're going to do it from 5 to 6 o'clock at night. We'd love you to come in. So you get them to come into the platform. They click watch demo, and it could be live or pre-recorded of you doing a procedure. After that procedure is done, then people would be able to book immediately for that particular treatment. So it's really going beyond just a flat webinar and getting people to really sort of engage. That's the key, because we can lose a lot of attention after 20 minutes with a webinar. But with something like this, it's really proven to generate revenue, generate sales, but become more engaged, more interactive with your clients, whether they're existing or whether you're trying to invite new prospects into something like this. So,
no, I think that the evolution is going in this direction. I think you're right on track. It's teaching the practices and the providers how to set this up, how to customize it. And as we discussed, customizing it should not be a problem. Companies like mine could help them with you to customize it with their logos, maybe even with photographs. And the pre-recorded, I think, is a big thing, because if you're going into different rooms to see different procedures, or the provider doing the procedure on a pre-recorded video would be very beneficial. There can be some live options to it, and we just have to see where people feel comfortable, but most of the providers are really not as comfortable doing something live. The videos can be done with their phones. It can also be done professionally, the videos, if that's what they would like to do. And I'm sure that there'll be plugins And also when it comes to payment, somebody buys a product now, or they have a service that they want to pay for, they want to buy a gift certificate. Is there going to be a plug-in to be able to pay, or that goes through their system that they have now?
They'll be able to have, we do have a merchant payment portal, which will all be integrated into the system, which they can use and set up their own accounts and get the revenue from it.
So this will actually integrate into their EMR program. And if you're not involved with that EMR program, I guess when we find out what programs they have and what they're comfortable with, then you're able to probably talk to those companies and be able to integrate with them.
Correct. Yeah. It's a fully white label type of platform, but very, very simple, very easy to do APIs with other types of software. So the idea with this was really to create more of an interactive experience between the med spa, the practitioner, and their client, but use it as a way to not only do virtual consultations through this, but actually to generate revenue, which a number of our clients have really proven that just using a webinar to educate, but also drive sales has been very, very successful. And even though practices are reopening back up, they're still employing a lot of virtual consultations with clients as well, because they see it as an additional way to generate revenue.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just now. I mean, I just got off the phone with a very big practice that has probably 1,000 providers, and they feel it's going to be for the next year or two. So I think we're in it for the long run. And I think that as part of consultants and educators and the Beautiful Forever University, we need to start training the providers to be more comfortable doing videos or working towards doing things digitally and feel comfortable doing it and let them, and it's really not hard. I mean, we're on this now and sometimes there's technical difficulties and it takes a little bit of learning curve, but not much. And most people in their offices have somebody young who can help them to set this up. But it seems like your system will be already pre-programmed, pre-set up when it's ready. And people can start simple. They can just start with doing events or virtual consults, selling some products. And I think that a lot of people are not going to want to come in and maybe purchase a product. So they can have a shipment method, a pickup method like they do now at the restaurants. So people could feel very comfortable. But the concept overall of the software is great. And the whole virtual clinic is really interesting. And the cloud-based component of it, I think, is good. And I know the pricing structure is being worked on, so it'll be affordable to everybody. And if they take patient financing options for certain treatments, obviously it'll be included in the software. Then obviously if the offices are open, they will be making their appointments and then doing that accordingly to what's going on in their business. So the V-Unite is the software we're talking about now to create your own virtual experience with your patients. And we're happy to talk to you, or you could talk to Stephen about discounts through the Beautiful Forever University once it actually launches. So we hope to be part of that. But we do know there'll be more and more trade shows as well virtually, as we see them happening now every day. We're getting those emails. So the next slide will tell us a little bit more about the GVAS, and that's happening in November 14th to 15th, which I know that you're heading up. But I think it's a really exciting idea to be able to go virtual and digital and the whole animation. It almost is like the wave of the future. It's like 10 years ago when we looked at, animation, we said, oh, this is never going to be anything. And here it is, something for our industry. And I think it's really great. So on the next slide, we will have the GBAS information. Well, it was there. Okay. So it's November 14th and 15th. And you want to tell us a little bit about what the highlights are?
Can you go back to the other slide? And it's was that video running? Just trial it.
That video?
Yeah, let's see if this works. It just gives. So these are so with virtual, what we're doing is, we're creating and simulating different experiences like you'd be at a conference. So there's breakout rooms this year, and there's roundtable discussions. So we're trying to really sort of step outside the box. There's what you'll see as I'm talking about different concepts. This is within the coffee industry. We're in the education sector, where this is a private dining experience. So what we did at GVAS in the May event, what we did was we had an entertainment level to it. As like people that have attended GVAS, we always love to push boundaries and do different things. And everyone loves education, but everyone wants to have a bit of fun. So we had like a live pianist, and he was accepting live song requests, and it was all inside the platform. So it's all about the experience that we can give attendees. Now, the GVAS November event, it is a pretty big event. We have local conference programs that will be set up for Brazil, Latin America, China, South Africa, Europe. There'll be the main program for UK, US, and Australia. And what the local program, what you can expect in terms of education. Again, not normally following your normal conference program. This year, what we're doing is it's called Hands On with the Masters. It was very successful last year, where we have 10 experts from all around the world that come together, choose an indication, and actually do live hands-on practical workshops. They're very in-depth. They go through facial analysis, they go through the treatment, and they go through the consultation. What we also will have is our cadaver anatomy and also injection training. That's in 2D and 3D. We trialed it in May. Again, everyone could actually wear their virtual reality goggles and actually watch it in 3D. And if anyone had virtual VR goggles, it will blow you away. We had 13 cameras that had filmed the actual workshop, and it was just an experience. You really felt like you were with the doctor in that particular room. We've got an extended program this year as well. So we've got 20 really influential extenders that will be doing practical hands-on and also theory workshops, and our really popular business program that Cheryl was involved with last year. And we're going to be doing some pretty different things on the business program this year, where we'll actually have some role plays. We'll have some really inside approaches, insights from all around the world, from business experts from all corners of the globe, which is what GVAS is all about. It's bringing you international speakers, international insights of what's happening all around the world, but you can access it within your own office or in your own home. That's the whole beauty of it. What you're going to expect as well, we're going to have some pretty interesting global debates that will be completely live. And then we're going to have live moderators that will be doing it in different languages. So there'll be moderators in Chinese, Portuguese, Spanish, English, and they'll all be moderating their own programs in their own time zones. So as you can imagine, for us, our team, there is a lot going on, but it's going to be pretty dynamic, pretty different. And again, it's a 2-day event, but we expect you to come in, look and choose what you're interested in. That's the whole beauty of virtual. You don't have to spend 2 days. You just look at what's interesting for you. There'll be the exhibition halls. So we've got lots of companies giving really good offers during virtual. And there's the gamification, and that's always been the most popular part. It's the fun part of the event. There's prizes that we give away. There's also points that you can get, and you can redeem that for a 30-day access pass to all of the content, which everyone always wants. We hope that we have so much great content that you want to get that 30-day access pass, so we gamify it up and encourage you to spend as much time during that weekend. So lots of exciting things, top experts from around the world, but it's going to be a pretty cool format. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to look like this year at this moment, because we're choosing some pretty unique visual virtual concepts. So I'm excited to show you that probably in the next 4 weeks.
That'll be great. We love that. And we just got a question, and they're asking about CME credits for the program. How does that work?
Yeah, so this year for GVAS in November, we're actually a registered body for CPD and CME all around the world. This year, America is included in that. We have a CME provider, so there'll be lots of content where you can get CME credits. I would expect anywhere from sort of 20 to 50 hours of CME credits.
That's a lot, and that's great. And that's something that, you know, once you know, let us know, because that's what our providers are interested in. You know, yep. Everybody wants to know, well, how much does it cost? And you don't have to answer that now. How many CMEs am I going to get? And, you know, physicians are all about education. So we're here to educate, both of us. And so we want to be able to give them that information. So when you have it, we could be the first to help you announce it and to get it out there. And I think we'll talk about like maybe an aesthetic division for the med spas, maybe the estheticians, the PAs, the nurse practitioners. They're providers as well, but sometimes solo practices or on a smaller scale, as well as the larger practices. And we could talk about how we could interact well with those organizations and bring them onto your exciting platform. But I think this is the biggest evolution. I'm glad that we're part of it. I thank you for being on today. I'm honored that you're here, and I look forward to hearing more. So we'll have to look for our calendars for the next 4 to 6 weeks to be able to get more updated information to be able to share with everybody. But I thank you, and as soon as you have updates, let us know. And I thank you for today.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone got some golden nuggets out of that. And please reach out if you've got any questions.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much as well.
Okay, thank you.
So going forward, we have lots of interesting speakers. We have July and August almost taken up. We're going to change to the next slides, and we're going to talk about the Beautiful Forever University membership, which is new, and it's a pre-launch. You could email, you can ask us questions. Being part of the pre-launch actually gets you great discounts on whether it's consulting, copies of the books, and first to be informed of everything that's happening in the industry, and will help guide you and your practice, whether you're solo, a large group, to success. And we help you to create the solutions, redo your menus, update your marketing plans, your business plans, your staffing plans, whatever it is that you need. So we are taking members now, and it's very unique and different. And we hope to be more involved with the biggest evolution and the animated classrooms and systems and programs, which we're preparing for now. And on our next slides, we will be able to tell you about a couple of more save the dates of our weekly programming. What's going to be very interesting is Dr. Stanley Carl on July 8th, which is next week at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He's going to talk about doing live surgeries online and how it is exploding for him. I mean, I think one of them had 45,000 people the last time I looked. And following that, on July 22nd, the 5 points of wellness. That date might have to be changed, but it's adding new profit centers to your practice having to do with anti-aging and hormones, as well as nutraceuticals, retail, as well as medical. And there's some turnkey solutions there that Dr. DeSilver has, and we'll get you the exact dates as we get closer. Talking about trends and what's happening in 2021, we're already in July. On the 15th, we have a guest speaker, Amy Alman, who is the publisher of Dermatology Times, and had just really relaunched and started many new programs and has been in the industry a long time. And on the 27th, we have Dr. Susan Merman, who's an OBGYN and also owner of a laser center. And the McDonald Merman Center changed brands, split up partnerships, went through a big change. And we're going to talk about the evolution of a brand and rebranding and what it takes and what's involved in changing a name, a logo. So that should be really interesting. And Susan is great, very animated. You'll definitely enjoy that. So join us. Keep on track with us when it comes to Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. And thebeautifulforever.com is the place where you could find out what's going on, as well as our Facebook live, which we usually have on a weekly basis. But I thank you for participating. The pre-launch program at the moment, and it's really limited, has lots of added value, as well as mystery calls and our book, Beautifully Profitable, which is in the 6th edition. It's on Amazon, or you can find it on beautifulforever.com. And that is part of the Beautiful Forever University Limited Special. So I look forward to being able to talk to you next week and watch our calendar, because we have some very exciting things coming up.